Welcome everyone to MSU Age Alive Town and Gown, a lifelong learning series featuring MSU faculty and community experts. My name is Kenny Thomas. I'm a political science major at Michigan State University, and I'll be giving the presentation today. I'll be your moderator today. Town and Gown is an MSU Age Alive program in the College of Osteopathic Medicine in partnership with MSU Social Science Scholars Program, Generations Connect, Friends of the East Lansing Seniors Program, East Lansing Primetime Seniors Program, the Great Decisions Program of the Foreign Policy Association, and the People's Church of East Lansing. Thank you for joining us. Tonight's presentation is titled, The Story of Zeke the Wonder Dog. Our handles tonight are Zeke the Wonder Dog and his owner, Jim Foley. Mr. Foley will provide a brief introduction and history of Zeke the Wonder Dog, talk about his dog training skills, show a news video, and answer questions. Jim Foley retired from the Herman Miller Furniture Company, has trained Zeke dogs, and gives demonstrations around the country. Our format tonight will be a little different. After a 30-minute presentation, we'll be going to Valley Court Park for a demonstration while those online enjoy a video. Following the demonstration, in-person participants will return to the church and we will have a question and answer session both in person and for online participants. Please take a moment to make sure that your mics are muted. At this time, please welcome us in joining Zeke the Wonder Dog and his owner, Jim Foley.
Well, good afternoon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children, are you ready for a good time tonight?
Yes.
Does the mic work good?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, my name is Jim Foley, and I am a disc dogger. You're going to be seeing a video that really goes in depth on the television station. And, they do a really good job explaining it. So I'm just going to tell you some background. I'm from Kalamazoo. Well, I grew up in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And, a typical 70s kid. Went to college. I didn't graduate at Michigan State. My wife did. I met her here at Michigan State. I was riding a bicycle. And she passed me. Like a bullet. I mean, wait a second, young lady. No one can pass me. Well, she did. So I chased her down. We had our first date at McDonald's. And the rest is history. I mean, we got married. When I told her I was going to bring Zeke the Wonder Dog back, she called me a liar. Said it would never happen. Never dreamed in her life she'd ever see her owning Zeke the Wonder Dog. Well, so I went to the Humane Society and I looked at over 600 dogs and I found that black dog, Zeke the Wonder Dog. His name was Dexter. So I started training. I grew up on a farm. I've had dogs all my life. Horses, cattle, hogs, goats. On yard. 1,000 bales of hay a day back when he baled. I was a farm boy. So anyway, here I run Zeke the Wonder Dog. Hey, I take him out. I get blown away by all these people in this contest. And I was like, this ain't happening. So I got determined. And let me take it back. I was at Tunnel Park with this dog, Dexter, my black lab. And he goes and finds a frisbee, a yellow frisbee in the snow. 1 foot of snow out in Tunnel Park in Holland, Michigan. Brings it back to me, wants to play. Well, I threw 6 or 7 frisbees, didn't catch a thing. But he had the heart to play. Oh my Lord. So we started working on frisbee, went to this contest, got blown away. And I went, well, that ain't gonna work. So I decided to perfect frisbee with Dexter. And we got pretty good. I mean, we started winning contests, went to a regional, went to the world. I started doing NFL shows with a buddy of mine, Bill Camp, and we were doing like North Carolina Panthers, the Bears, the Steelers, the Jets. I mean, we're getting around the world, you know, Minnesota, St. Louis. I mean, what happened? You know, it just kind of just started growing. And so, and I was doing a show out on the lakefront for some special kids at Camp Sunshine. And it was down center. And we were doing a show. I just had a lot of fun playing with the kids. And then Gail comes up to me and said, "Did you hear about the contest at Michigan State?" Well, I had been here to Michigan State and I had introduced myself to him after talking to Don Bolton, Western Michigan, the athletic director, to figure out how I'd get him in. We came to the coaches club and they introduced us to the athletic department. I had tried out and lo and behold, Mitch lost our phone number, lost all my contact information. So they're having tryouts. And I find out on a Wednesday night, tomorrow's the tryout. And I'm like, okay. So when they had tryouts, they had all the best disc doggers in the Midwest trying out for this. I mean, there were some good people. I mean, really good professionals. And I come out there with Dexter. And by him anyway you want it. I know Dexter didn't want to let me down. My wife is thrilled. And I look up, and lo and behold, and I didn't know it at the time, he didn't recognize me at the time. But one of the judges was my linebacker in high school who didn't recognize me. And I'm like, whoa, that's pretty cool. And the other one was Mark Hollis. And the other judge is not, I can't, forgive me, I can't remember his name. But he was the ticket manager for Michigan State. Now he's an athletic director at Alabama. And so, I mean, the judging was pretty tough. But we won it. My God, that's pretty good. So, you know, I still do my NFL stuff when I can. But we won that, and it was like a whirlwind. Press, articles, TV, all this build up for the Eastern Michigan game. I mean, wow, what a bunch of PR. It was amazing. Like Coach Williams. And I'm like, we step out on that field. And, you know, I've been doing NFL shows, okay? I shouldn't feel anything. Well, I sure did. I think I had a panic attack when I stepped out there. I mean, that crowd erupted. And I threw the first 50-yard frisbee shot, landed right on the S, back when they had the S on the helmet. That place erupted. When I ran out to the 50, I fired another one in the end zone. And they were ballistic. So I started doing a bunch of different kind of throws. I sent him all over. I ran that poor Dexter, dubbed Zeke the Wonder Dog, for 4.5 minutes.
Wow.
Well, he was in shape. Don't get me wrong. Zeke was in shape. Because I take him swimming and work him out too. Man, 3.5 minutes into the show, this first show, Steve Cherry from the National Championship basketball team was working for athletics. He runs out, slaps me in the middle of my back and says, "Breathe, Jim." I took a breath. I was like, I don't know how I was still on my feet, man. Wow. Anyway, it was exciting. My wife was in tears when I came out of town. And we did the most exciting show I've ever done, dog. And when Zeke was doing that show, oh my God, he was just exhausted. I was too, but it was great. It was fantastic. So, I mean, over the years, we've been very fortunate, very blessed to be part of the Spartan family. I mean, it is such a blessing. This was life-changing for me and my wife. I mean, you know, she graduated with her master's and all that from here. but I worked at Herman Miller as a machinist, made chairs, game chairs, things like that. Made some nice furniture. I love working with my hands. That was my forte. I just did it. I made some beautiful furniture out of the craftsman. That, hey, everybody has different strokes. I love mine. But it balanced our lives out, having Zeke. Being a goodwill ambassador for Michigan State, or just being a goodwill ambassador. I mean, hey, if you could do a good turn for somebody every day, what more reward can you get out of life? I mean, that is what life is about. No, I mean, here I'm retired now doing this, and it just keeps my life going. It gives me purpose. I love sharing with the kids. I was at a contest last night, teaching a kid how to throw a frisbee for a dog. I was playing with some pups I got here that you'll see here when we go outside. But I mean, I'm just proud to do it. I'm proud to be a part of it. Now, funny thing about some of the funny stories about Zeke that I'll tell. Okay. Now, that first game was amazing. But that Notre Dame game, oh my Lord. Remember Little Giants?
The movie?
No. The play, Little Giants. Okay, you remember Michael Hart? Okay, when Michael Hart scored the touchdown, his little brothers, our little brother show game that he nicknamed that game. When Michael Hart scored that broken play to score a touchdown, Zeke got away from me on the sidelines, which never happens. And he broke and ran over to the goalpost and raised the leg to Pete. Now, I'm not trying to become a national attention, but if that would have happened and been caught on film, everybody was focused on Michael Hart scoring a touchdown. At the other end of the field, Zeke was peeing on the goalpost. I ran over, I got him quick so they couldn't get it on television. And then the next time they scored in Notre Dame, he wanted a full point. The other way, trying to tell our defense, no, you can't let him do that. And then after the game, when he did that little brother thing, here's Michael Hart mocking D'Antonio, mocking him for the team prayer on the S. And Zeke was off lead. We were walking off the field. Zeke walks up behind Michael Hart and lifted his leg. And I'm like, I ran over and grabbed him. He's now, and Michael Hart's on national television, they're shooting us, right? And Zeke walks up to, lifts his right leg up. You will not do that to me now. I mean, you will get me in trouble for that. You know what I mean? So we got him out of there. Oh my God. I mean, but he didn't even have to go pee. He was being an idiot. I mean, Dexter, Zeke too. He was smart. And now, I mean, we've had some fun times with other things though too. Buku, Zeke 3. Oh man, they all that. Oh, I love that guy. I loved him to death, man. He was so cool. He was so strong. He lived it. He was playing until the day he died. We did a basketball game that night, and he just didn't look right. So I benched him when I was going to take him to bed again in the morning because we couldn't figure out what's wrong with him. Hang on, I need water.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay.
That's okay.
I just
This one come out of the. Here, how did it? Oh. Sorry about that. It'll come up.
You go back up.
There you go.
Sure, wait a second.
No, you're good.
Sorry about the technical. Our sponsor didn't run the commercials, so. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, it broke off. We're getting back to Google. Now, Bear was a dog. He was a great hunter. He had a lot of prey drive. We're out playing in the field. And he hears a rustling in the field in the grass. Well, he gets back over there, but he can't figure out what that is. And he's looking. And he knows something out there. And he goes in. I hear a cackle. Out pops a rooster. That dog's eyes got as big as saucer plates, boy. I mean, he chased that rooster. You know, and roosters can fly. He was right up in a tree and roosted. Oh my God. Then he sat there and he treated him. He wasn't going to let him out. He didn't get him. He did not get him at all. But I mean, it's like, holy cow, did he scare him? But Book was a good dog. He was a kind dog. We were sitting there in a snowstorm over in Holland. We get pretty hard ones over there. You know, when we get a hard snowstorm with good blizzard coming in, we got snow drifts 4 feet in my backyard by my door. 4 feet high, 5 feet, 4.5, 5 feet. We're watching TV. Day nice and warm. Buku decides he wants to go outside. I said, what's this about? It's so cold, it's not even good for a dog to be out there. You know? Well, he's insistent, barking, just putting up a fit, so I let him outside. And he runs underneath the pine trees. And goes in underneath the pine trees. And he won't come out. I'm like, what is he doing? Finally, I get dressed up in my Carhartts, put my boots on and my winter jacket, and I go out and I dig him out. And I go, what the heck? Get in the house. I bring him in the house. Well, he's got something in his mouth. And I'm thinking, oh man, what do you do? Get a rabbit? What? Well, come find out, the neighbor down the road had left their teacup dog, little baby dog, little one, big enough for a mouthful. And he had taken that dog, gone into his kennel in the basement, and was keeping it warm
Oh.
and cuddling it, trying to save it, keep it nice and warm.
Oh.
And it wasn't my neighbor, he's Chinese, he can't speak English. And I'm looking at the collar, and I had a phone number, so I call. And I can talk to this Chinese guy. I can't talk to him. I got no way to communicate with this guy. I'm trying to tell him, hey, I got your dog. He doesn't understand a word. So I go, bark, bark, and I gave him the address. And I spelled it out for him. 20 minutes later, here comes this guy, this Chinese guy, just so grateful. Buku actually saved that dog's life. I mean, that dog would have froze that night. I'm underneath the pine tree. But he was trying to find cover. And like Buku saved his life. I mean, Buku was a great hunt dog. I love to take pheasant. I mean, I like pheasant. I really do enjoy that. But Buku was he was a great dog. And he loved playing frisbee. So then, after we lost Buku, that was a hard thing. But we brought the buckshot in, the one we have now, the past 10 years, 9 years. And now he is really a guard. I got him double T kennels out of Kansas. I waited 3 litters to get the right color because I was trying to match up to Sparty. Because I was looking for the perfect Zeke. And Herb, Payne Harm from Double T Kennels was a master breeder. I mean, he's out of some great lines. Zeke is out of some of the best lines for American hunting lab crossed with English. That's how you got the red tint. So he's an American lab. His daddy's Mississippi Red. And he was bred with champion line female from England. And after 3 litters, I was running tight on this one. I was afraid I was going to run out of time. We got him finally, trained him up. And God, he was such a cute guy. I mean, he's cute day one. And he knows it too. You know, everybody loves me. Now, he doesn't know about how everybody else built it up, you know, but he's enjoyed it ever since he's been in the game. And he's done some great tricks. You know, it's one of his favorite ones, flying off my back. And, you know, I really enjoy doing that with him. And, yeah, I mean, I do training with him. Like this weekend, I'm going to go work with Tad Bowen over in Pennsylvania, 3-time national champion. I'm going to spend a couple days with him, getting the new one set up. I'm setting up Cindy Lou, but for a backup. But, you know, right now Zeke's in charge. Zeke Ford is in charge. And, I mean, he has had some great games. I love the game we did, the Jets. Zeke did a show at the Jets last season in the dark with LED lights. And we put fluorescent lights on Zeke. And here you had a Labrador running around with lights on, catching a frisbee that was flying 40, 50 yards across the field. And it lit the stadium up. I mean, man, that was great. We had a bunch of dogs there, but Zeke was having a gas. And they loved it. I mean, we got a standing ovation from the Jets crowd. It was great. I mean, Zeke did it. I mean, Zeke's gotten some great, you know, we've had some fantastic games at Michigan State too. You know, I mean, because that's his home crowd. You know, everybody, they applaud so loud when he comes on the field. It's such a tradition. You know, it's such a legacy. And that's all I'm hoping. I hope we continue this legacy as he long after I'm gone. I want the youth to pick this up. I want people, you know, everybody's gone to the computers. And nobody's playing with their dogs anymore, hardly. You know, I mean, it's like people aren't getting out and doing outside stuff like that. Not like we used to when we were kids. I know when we were growing up, mom kicked you out of the house and you didn't come back in until it was dark. You know, but that's a different generation. You know, I mean, a dog like Zeke would run around with a kid day in and day out, be like Lassie. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, a rid Tantan. And, you know, he's going to, you know, he's on the twilight of his career. You know, at 10 years old, I don't know how much longer I can keep running him. And I don't want to waste him. I mean, I want him to have a retirement. I want him to enjoy being a retired Zeke. And, you know, by that, I mean, he'll still go to tailgate parties. Okay. But I'll have another guy out of the football field. You know, because I need to add a little youth to the program too. Because it's turning into a program. And I got this new one. Now, I got this new pup coming up. Crossed with his brother, Remington, which is even a deeper red, with the national world champion agility dog from England. So this dog coming up has hops. I mean, this dog is fast. I mean, Cindy's going to be just a blazing. Hopefully she'll be Zeke 5. You know? But I just want to see this program going there. I mean, there's, you know, when I practice, I really do work him. I got a little 14-foot robo with a trolling motor on it, and a little 5-horse. And I go down to Pigeon Creek by Lake Michigan. That's the nice thing about living on Lake Michigan. I don't have to pay to wash it out. I go down to Pigeon Creek. I put my boat in water. We let him out of the van. And I take off. And he chases me into the water. And I make a swim around all Pigeon Creek. All the way around. We go around on the shoreline. I make a swim on the deep water. You know. But he's such a strong swimmer. If you ever look at Zeke's front paws, he's got butters. His feet are so huge. You know those boots I put on a basketball game? I got to use extra large on his front paws, large on his back. He's just got the biggest front paws you've ever seen in life. Now, the funniest things he's done, too many to remember.
You know
Oh.
about it.
Gosh. I just can't think of any right now.
Oh, we're ready now.
Huh?
We're ready to head out when you are, so we.
Are we?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
Oh, okay.
Just ask about the history because the folks on Zoom will hear it on the tape that this group won't see. But if this group is interested in seeing that video, it's about 22 minutes long, then I can give you the link and when you get home you can watch it.
Yeah.
But one of the stories that they talk about in that tape, that if you could just share for a second and then we can get ready to go outside, Jim,
Sure.
is the original Zeke
Oh, Gary Asmer.
from the 80s, right?
Ezekiel. I didn't go back to the Ezekiel. Yeah. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, Gary. Gary Eisenberg. And 1970 at the Shell gas station down there in Grant, where the Crosstown Park restaurant is, Cross Park, Town Park, Parkway. Well, right on the very corner where when you're coming in on Harrison, there's a gas station, a Shell gas station. And him and his buddy Gary, and they were sitting there at the gas station working night shift, playing with the dog. And somebody brought in and told them about this contest in Kentucky. And they said, if you win the contest, you get a free trip to California, to Pasadena, to be in the Rose Bowl, to be in the movie Floating Free, and compete for a world championship with Ashley Webb. Now, everybody swears there's 26 letters, says, gee whiz, Gary goes down to Kentucky. He wins it, road trip out to Pasadena. Him and Gary. And they go out. They got 26 letters saying they won the contest. But the sponsor in the movie was about Ashley Whippet. So Ashley Whippet beat Zeke. Don't figure, but hey, it happened, you know. I mean, it's a contested world championship after that too. But Ashley was an awesome dog. But Zeke was the first dog to do multiples. So when you see me do multiples, it's out of respect to Gary. And you know, because he run around a circle and catch 3 or 4 frisbees for me. That was the thing that just made him distinctive in the frisbee world and started freestyle. So I started the freestyle game or championships, and that's what we were after. And Gary performed from 78 to 84 or 82, 82. Anyway, he was there in 84 too. He must have been after he graduated. But he gave it up, you know, so he could have his life. His life, but he was an engineer, project manager, and so Gary had to move on, and there was a hiatus from that time until 2001 when I brought Zeke back with Gary, and Gary's helped very much in training the dog, doing things he wants down the field, and you know, Gary does every homecoming since he's been doing every homecoming, so he's done the past 20 years of homecoming. Although last year he missed it because he had to have a hip replacement. And I don't know if he'll be doing it again this year or not. We'll see. But Gary Eisenberg, and the first dog's call name was Ezekiel. And the way they got Zeke the Wonder Dog is when he came back. And the football team asked him to be on the field. The Lansing State Journal named him Zeke the Wonder Dog instead of Zeke the Wonder Dog. And that's where the name stuck. And that's how it all started.
Good evening and Good evening and welcome to the wonderful world of Zeke the Frisbee catching wonder dog. Zeke is a main staple at MSU football and other sporting events. Here's Jim Foley to talk about how the world of Zeke all started.
A lot of times the question comes up, who is Zeke? Well, Zeke 1 was started with Gary Eisenberg. He was playing at the Shell gas station on the corner of Harrison and Grand. And they found a flyer. And Steve, his buddy, said, man, that dog can jump. You got to take him. They took Zeke, went down there, and they won the darn thing. And they won a free trip to Pasadena. And they were shooting a movie called Floating Free. So, Gary Eisenberg, Steve, they hop on an airplane, get an expense-paid trip out to California to be in a movie Floating Free in Pasadena in the Rose Bowl. Zeke goes out there and he competes against Ashley Whippet, one of the most wonderful dogs in the world, I might add. Zeke competes and he comes in second world champion. And he was the first dog to do multiples in the freestyle sport. And Gary, Zeke was wonderful. He doesn't miss a thing. He's just having a gas playing out there with Gary. And Gary comes back. Lo and behold, the Lansing State Journal finds out about it. And they dubbed Zeke the Wonder Dog because he was the first dog to compete. So after all the press that Gary got in Lansing from the news of him going to Pasadena and being in the movie Floating Free, Darryl Rogers asked Gary to bring Zeke to a game. And, oh Lord, that was all it took. He got on the football field and the stands, the crowd loved, the students loved him. He took off. It was the beginning of a new era of frisbee dogs. And Gary had it going. He was happy as could be. And Gary kept that up. And Zeke and him traveled around. And that's when Zeke really established his name as Zeke the Wonder Dog. After he retired Zeke, he came up with a contest with Lansing school system. And he let them name Zeke the second Zeke. So they named him Keezy, Z-E-K-E, spelled K-E-Z-E, Keezy. So they came up with Keezy. And that was a chocolate lab that Gary ran for a while. And after that, there was Zeke Keezy. Keezy was lost in a car accident. And that broke Gary's heart. And he was graduating, he had to move on, and he moved on, and the whole Zeke thing passed without a Zeke for 25 years. Mark Hollis decided to bring Zeke back, and they brought in a whole team of us to try out. And like I said, Mark had heard about us, so we went to the trials, and we went out, and my God, Zeke won the contest back at Michigan State on the state field. And we ran him, until, I bet he was 11 years old. And he gave it his heart. That dog lived and died to play frisbee. And then when he passed on, we brought in Zeke 4. And Zeke 4 is actually pretty close to Zeke 1, because I was trying to get back to the Zeke 1. He's got that red coat, and he's a yellow lab. And Zeke is considered a firecracker yellow. And that's what matches up to Sparty now real well. The coat colors are the same pretty much as Sparty. And Zeke 4 has been doing a tremendous job.
My name's Terry Foley, and I am the owner of Zeke the Wonder Dog, along with my husband, Jim Foley.
Hi, I'm Jim Foley.
I got into frisbee dogs, which became a passion of mine back in '99. And I was competing with the L-pole circuit. And I was learning freestyle, and I hooked up with Bill Camp's Famous Flying Dogs, and we started doing NFL games. Traveling all over the country doing NFL games. It was just a whirlwind of an experience. And then they had tryouts for Michigan State. And I said, well, why not? I mean, I'll give it a shot. So me and Terry went up there to Michigan State when Mark Hollis and I believe it was Mason were looking for a new dog.
We have been performing with Zeke for now 20 years at Michigan State. Prior to that, we did a lot of competitions with Zeke through Skyhounds. Zeke, too, did go to the World Championships in California. But I think a really key event for me is having been a student at Michigan State University and sitting in the student section as a student at the football games and cheering on Zeke way back when. And again, if anybody had told me I was going to be the next owner of Zeke the Wonder Dog, I would have told them they were crazy, and I had no idea where they would have figured that piece out. But very honored to be able to be the owner of Zeke the Wonder Dog and to share him as a Goodwill ambassador for Michigan State has just been an honor and privilege.
Well, it's time for us to take a short break, but when we get back, through the magic of television, we're going to hear from Zeke himself.
This Spartan Show special is sponsored by Newman Lofts, East Lansing's only 55-plus active adult community.
Welcome back to the show. We heard from Jim, Zeke's owner, earlier, and now, through the magic of television, we have Zeke the Wonder Dog here with us in person. And Zeke, can you hear me?
I can. Ian, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Wait, you can hear me talking?
Yeah, I can. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great.
That's awesome. How's the last year been? I know you haven't been able to go to any of the football games, but how's life been?
Oh, it's been okay. I miss the big crowds and all my friends, but I still get to run outside, and I've been practicing catching. I've been practicing catching every day.
I bet. And now I'm just curious, when it comes to being a dog, what are some of your favorite treats?
Treats. Well, I like all treats. But my favorite has to be the apples that I get from the Spartan marching band. They're Honey Crisps. Oh, I get to eat them all messy, but Jim only lets me have one per game because, apples, well, I got to keep the turf clean.
That's fair. Now, obviously, when people go to a Spartans football game, they're looking for you. They love Zeke the Wonder Dog. You're almost like a celebrity to the Spartan community. So what's that like being a celebrity?
Well, I don't really think I'm a celebrity. I put my cape on one paw at a time, just like everybody else. But I have to say, I love the pats on the head and the chin scratches, and the belly rubs are great.
I bet. Now, obviously, you're known for catching a frisbee in your mouth. When it comes to doing that, what goes into that? Is it you got to practice for that at all?
Oh, yeah. You got to practice. Lots of hard work. Lots of treats, too. Here's a little secret. Sometimes I've already learned the trick, but I pretend I still need a few more times with the treats to get it mastered.
Now, is it hard sometimes to have Sparty throw you that frisbee? Because I've heard sometimes it's not the best throw.
Sometimes we practice a lot, but Sparty, he's got only 3 fingers, and that makes it harder to throw a frisbee.
All right, now, Zeke, I'm just curious. As someone who's been around Michigan State's campus for quite a while, I've seen a lot of squirrels roaming around. Do you like to chase those squirrels when you're on campus?
Squirrel? Where's this? Oh. Yeah, I like squirrels. They're fun. Sometimes I chase them, but only to play. But wolverines, I'm not a big fan of wolverines. If I spot a wolverine, they better run fast. Come to think of it, I'm not a big fan of badgers either.
Oh, okay. Well, now I'm assuming you like to dream about chasing those wolverines. What are some of the other things you like to dream about?
Every night I have the same dream. I'm catching frisbees in the middle of the field at the Rose Bowl. The fans are cheering me on, and I look up at the scoreboard, and it's 100-0 Spartans.
Okay, I can't be mad at that. Now, what's maybe one of your favorite memories from catching a frisbee inside of Spartan Stadium or at another game?
I like all my memories from Spartan Stadium. I love playing with the cheerleaders. I love playing with the marching band. I love catching frisbees in the end zone. And then sometimes they let me catch frisbees in the middle of the field. Oh, and the crowd cheering. It's just all so great.
All right, now, Zeke, Jim obviously throws you the frisbee, probably the most, but when it comes to maybe some local celebrities, who are your favorites that have thrown you the frisbee?
Oh, there's so many. Oh, there's the big lug, of course. Oh, Tom Izzo, he's a superstar. Oh, Coach Tucker, he throws a good frisbee. Susie Merchant. Sparty, he's good. But my favorite is when we're outside the stadium and I get to play with kids and they throw me the frisbees. They're so good.
Now, Zeke, I'm just curious. Zeke has been around for a long time, so what number Zeke are you?
What do you mean? I'm number 1. I'm number 1, Zeke. Oh. Is there any other number?
Not to my knowledge, I don't believe.
I can't really tell time. I mean, they tell me when to show up. It could have been yesterday. Could have been 3 years ago.
Now, Zeke, a lot of people are probably jealous that you get to be on the field at Spartan Stadium. So I'm just curious, what's the best thing about being a dog?
The best thing? I can only think of best things. I love running, I love jumping, I love sleeping and eating, I love listening and not listening. Did I mention sleeping and eating?
All right, Zeke, last one I got for you. Now that we got you talking, is there one final thing you want to share with everybody?
Is it okay if I sing? Because I want to say, go right through for MSU. Watch the points keep growing. Spartan teams are bound to win. They're fighting with a vim. Ruff, ruff, ruff. See, their team is weak. We're going to win this game. Ruff, 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 ruff. Victory for MSU. Go green.
All right, Zeke, thanks for joining us. We appreciate the time, and we'll be back with more on Zeke the Wonder Dog right after the break. Training a dog can be one of the hardest jobs in the world, and training a dog to catch frisbees in front of 80,000 screaming fans is almost impossible. But with the unique training that Jim provides to Zeke and others, makes it possible to do just that.
I started out training Zeke by getting him around people and crowds and having him be around a lot of action so I can maintain his focus. Once they get around bands and stuff like that, then they're pretty much band sound. Like, I'll use a football field like this with a bunch of kids on it for Rocket League football, just get them accustomed to being around people. And that helps when I'm getting in a crowd because then they're used to being around a crowd. And I start tossing 4-foot, 5-foot frisbees, and I extend it out to 10 feet. And then I take them out to 20, 10, 15 yards, 20 yards. And I keep building them up till he has confidence to go the distance. And that way you build up a no-check dog where he won't spin around looking for the frisbee. So once you get him built up to 40, 50 yards, then you got a pretty solid run as far as distance goes. And I can go from there. I start teaching him tricks. After I get a solid retrieve with him at 50 yards, and I maintain his focus, I'll start teaching him tricks. And I'll start teaching tricks. It takes about 5 days to teach a dog like Zeke a trick. Now, as far as frisbees go, I'm going to use a Skyhound's 80-gram standard because of the calm night, and they float real nice. So I like to use those so I can keep them up in the air for him. Now, on windier days, I'll use up to 140-gram jaws. But there's a whole range in between that I use too. I got the 120-gram. I don't use anything heavier than that because if I throw it too hard, it'll go into a crowd, and that could be bad.
So we all know Zeke performs at MSU football games, but did you know there's a lot more to the wonderful world of Zeke than just football games? Zeke and friends have performed at NFL games, minor league baseball, NBA, and kids events all over the Midwest.
Zeke and Friends goes to a majority of the events where there's a longer period of time, like parades, golf outings, Spartan Stadium. Those are all events that Zeke does independently of his friends. But basketball games, he does with his friends, soccer games, different baseball games. Those are all events that may be longer in duration, and it helps increase the entertainment factor.
Well, folks, it's like this. When I open up a show for Zeke and Friends, it's ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready for a good time? First up, we're going to have Zeke the Wonder Dog, and I'll open with Zeke, and I'll run him for about, minute and a half, minute and 45 seconds. And then the music will change, and I'll bring in another dog, like a flipper. And I'll bring in Panda, and she'll do a bunch of flip, and she'll flip, 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 and go out and run around and do a little vault, leg vault, knee vault. And then she comes off the field, he comes off the field, and we'll bring in Shay Shay. Shay Shay is a therapy dog from Mapleview Animal Hospital in Holland. And she just loves to please kids, and she's getting up there, but she gives her best, and she'll run around, catch a bunch of different disc tricks. And she comes off, and Panda will come back out and play with her, so I have two dogs going at the same time. And then after we get done that, and we'll come in and we'll bring in Rally, my little brown and white McNabb. And she's a high-flying little McNabb. She's out of Washington, D.C., out of the McNabb original line. And Rally's a little McNabb, but she's a throwback McNabb. And she was the second sister to the world champion that just passed away, Torch. She's come from champion lines, and out of Ron Prentice's kennels. And then I'll bring her up, and she really grabs the show. And then we'll bring in 4 dogs or 5 dogs, and we'll work a routine of long-distance throws. And maybe we'll bring in a couple other trick dogs in and do some bounces off the floor, or do some more vaulting where they'll fly over my shoulders, or I'll do an air catch where I'll flip them and catch them. And then when we close the show out, I try to get some fan involvement. I want fan participation. So then I teach the kids how to throw a frisbee, and then we let the kids throw for the dogs. And it takes up a good half hour, 45 minutes to do all this. And the kids just have a great time. They do. They really enjoy it.
One of the most recent events was at the University Club for day camp, where there were a group of kids that had lots of opportunity to cheer on not only Zeke, but his buddies. I think that from an entertainment factor, not only is Zeke a good performer, he has a supporting cast that makes the entertainment more exciting because each one of the dogs have different talents. Zeke may be able to lead in who let the dogs out, but there may be dogs that jump higher. One of the things at the University Club, you had 2 dogs carrying a frisbee back. That always makes people laugh. So I think it really helps support Zeke's performance. So Zeke and his friends, especially at kid events, they're therapy dogs. So there may be dogs that the kids just want to pet. As at the University Club, we did a brief introduction with education on how you approach dogs, how you interact with dogs, and the dogs serve the purpose, not only entertainment, but also are therapy dogs.
Thank you for joining us tonight and exploring the wonderful world of the best frisbee catching dog in the world, Zeke the Wonder Dog. From all of us here at WLNS and WLAJ, have a great night.
Unmute. There we go. All right.
So any questions? Anybody had any background? You have one at the top of your mind.
Well, we kind of just talked about it, but we were talking about the fact that this current Zeke is 10 years old. And how long can he do this? Because it's hard on them. But today, Cindy showed us she's really good.
Ready to go.
She's ready.
How old is Cindy?
She's about 4.
Oh, okay, she's a
So then
baby.
how old is the black dog?
Oh, that's a trick dog.
It's a puppy.
Slingshot 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
She just got through a terrible tooth.
She's a beautiful, beautiful,
That's a McNabb.
beautiful
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that dog will never be Zeke the Wonder Dog. They always use a lab. That's the tradition. When I first started this thing, everybody wanted to bring a border collie out.
Oh.
Yeah. I love border collies. I had the number 3 border collie in the nation.
Oh, wow.
And everybody's bragging to me about how great their border collie was. It's not like if they would let me use a border collie, I would really show you one.
Well, they like to be active, that's for sure.
Yeah, Plague was one of the best in the world. And I'd put her up against anybody. The only reason she lost the world championship was I had a bad throw. That's how tight it is. You go the slime on a frisbee and that's it. You're out. You're first to third. So yeah. It's like a gym contest, a gymnastics contest. 1/10 of a point. So place in top 3. Right. And Zeke would have done real well in the world. But
Do you put your dogs on special diets?
oh,
Uh-oh.
all right.
That's a question.
All right, okay. Hey, I went down to Chicago, competed in the UFO competition, and got my tail handed to me by the Marine professional disc dog game.
Oh.
Handed it to me, man. And I asked him, well, what do you feed your dogs? Because they had so much more power than mine. And they said, Reno 1. Really? So I call up Lance Mackey from Interrod. He's a Spartan man. I don't know, you know who he is. He won Interrod 5 times. That dog sled race in Alaska. 5-time national, 5-time winner. And I said, hey Lance, they told me Purina 1 is what they feed their dogs to beat the daylights out of me on a field on a hot day. And he starts laughing. He says, "I'll tell you what, Jim, you go get this blood test and you send it to my dog nutritionist and have him make a recommendation for you." Gosh, that looking at things from a different perspective. Right? And this guy named Clay, dog doctor, blood nutritionist. And he called me back and he says, "Jim, I want you to put him on 32K Red Bull." Okay. I get that out of Wisconsin. That was made by the old Sergeant. Remember the Sergeant cans when we were kids? The dog food with Sergeant with a ring on the can.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's made in that factory. But it's a professional sled dog food. And so I go back to that same national championship. And I own everyone's professional disc dog team. And they come up to me and they said, "What did you start feeding that dog? He's got so much energy." And I said, "Reno one."
Oh.
And I never told them. Yep, because they were feeding a hybrid test dog food. They would never tell you what they were eating. So I hit them with K9 32 and yeah, bring it on, baby. I'll bring it on. You got beat 5 times in the Nationals if they interrupted. So hey, I think I got the red dog one now. Yeah. So I gotta order it. Comes from Wisconsin.
Good question.
We have a question online. What have you ever thought about writing a book?
You know, I have thought about that. And I pursued it. And if I can find an author that wants to help me out, well,
No, you're fine. Please.
if I can find an author that wants to help me, I would love to try to do a book. Man, gosh, it'd be so cool. I mean, even a kid's book, whatever. I mean, it would be great.
A kid's book would be amazing.
know,
That would be nice.
I mean, I would love to do a book, but I need an author. I need somebody that's a writer. I mean, seriously, I'm a dog trainer.
Right.
I mean, I got a million stories, and I can put it all in chronological order. But I mean, I got a frisbee for every event I ever went. I got so many trophies, I can't put them up. I keep them in the basement, stored on a freak top shelf, middle shelf of a rack, and they're back. And that trophy's coming out years. Oh, I guess I don't know. Oh, that, yeah.
All in all.
Trophies mean nothing.
Yeah.
You know, trophies mean nothing. Memories mean everything. You know, I mean, hey, we just put a smile on over 100 kids out there,
Oh,
and you all were part of it. I hope you felt good about it. You know what I mean? But that's what life's about, man. Let's be happy. You know, we don't have to fight the world. We just have to be happy with our lives. So
What's been your favorite thing about training the dogs? Do you have a favorite thing that you enjoy with them?
Oh, my favorite thing to do with them?
Yes,
Oh gosh, I love playing frisbee with them,
clearly.
but I love to take them out in the field and let them be dogs too. I live out by Fayetteville, you know, down the island there, and I just let them go out and be dogs. You know, we run around on like a little mini bike. They run along with me, running trails, and nobody bothers us. Well, every now and then they run across a pheasant. They'll chase a goose or stuff like that, you know. But I mean, they're just being dogs, having fun.
How do they interact with other dogs?
Well, I command them. They're my team. That's how I can run Zeke down the middle of the street. And he stays right on the line. He stays on the yellow line unless he's got to go find a tree. You know, he's pretty much, if he goes off to start bothering another dog, he gets a call back quick.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do, on a parade route, I have to, for safety's sake, carry that rattle collar. You know, I never zap them or nothing, but all I gotta do is hit them with like a tube, like a little buzz, you know, like just like a rattle on your vibrator on a phone. And he comes right back. He just sticks right with me. He won't, no. You don't get in a dog fight, nothing. No. He's been trained not to, you know. And although he kind of got it, that tiff at Michigan State, oh gosh, him and Panda. Panda jumped on Zeke's back 5 times in a row.
Panda.
That black and white dog I run.
That's right.
Not that little one, my big one. And Panda Zeke took offense of it. They got into a snarl match. Nobody got hurt, nothing like that, but it's like it just looked ugly, you know. But it was just 2 dogs jawing at each other. They're both male, you know. You got to understand when you're dealing with dogs, you're going to have stuff like that happen. Nobody got hurt, no blood drawn, nothing. Yeah, so I love them both. But I mean, Zeke, he never gets into it too often.
Do they have their own doggy beds or do they sleep with you in bed?
Oh boy, no. They sleep in a kennel.
Oh, do they?
You know, I got plastic kennel I use. And I don't put nothing in. Zeke 1 had to have surgery because he ate some carpet. Zeke 2 had to have surgery because he ate carpet.
Oh,
Zeke 3 never got no carpet because I ripped it all out of my house. And he doesn't get a bed. He sleeps in my bed. He sleeps bottom bed. But I don't let him chew on any cloth or nothing because I don't want to go through that again. I mean, it'd be $5,000 now.
yeah.
You know, that surgery is not cheap. You know, we break even on it, you know. We didn't talk about my sponsors and stuff like that. NIL with him. MSU, FCU, but it helps me do events like this where I don't have to charge her. You know, I come in expenses, you know, that's how I can do it. I mean, really, I do a lot of events like this. And it's so that we can put forward the goodwill of Michigan State. And because, you know, other schools don't have anything like this, you know, where we go out and we're really real people, you know. We did the 6B Colt drive up in Grand Rapids for the 6B school in the rough district of town. And we got 400 jackets for kids. That was through the Alumni Association and Wendy's. We do so many events that, you know, I mean, kids growing up that never even, you know, there's neighborhoods where kids are afraid of dogs. And the one thing I got to make sure people understand, these are trained dogs. They're not going to hurt you. You know, I carry a lot of liability, but I mean, you know, they're not going to hurt you. But they're been trained. You know, I don't want the kids thinking, oh, I can do that with the neighbor's dog is barking over there behind the fence. I meant to give that speech today too, where I forgot. But no, my dogs are trained not to be aggressive. But I did have a lot of fun out there today. I was really proud of the team, actually.
They're great job. Thank you so much.
So anybody else have any other questions? You have been really quiet.
These two.
Just give them time.
I'm just worried. I think that Zeke is going to need to have a rest before too long. I know how old I am, and I thought, how old would it in dog year? I mean, in human years would Zeke be?
I don't know. I mean,
So how old is he? 9? He's 9?
he's 10.
He's 10,
10.
70.
That'd be like 78, probably.
Whoa.
But he's in shape.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but you know, he's getting arthritis and stuff like that. Working
That's
up
what I
on it.
learned. So dogs will get arthritis. And
But you know, the thing is, when I stop running a dog, they die. If I take frisbee away from that dog will die.
66.
He's 66.
so what do you do then?
So he's eligible for Medicare.
Hey, wait a second. Do you think we can give him an ID? I better not go there. Yeah, that's not me.
Does he have a driver's license?
Oh, probably. I mean, hey. But you were saying,
So you just not have him work quite as long and have another dog? I mean, what do you do if you say you stop he would die. So how do you handle that situation?
Well, like tonight, I only ran him a few minutes.
Right, okay.
I ran him. When he starts running around in circles on me and playing hide and seek with the frisbee, he's telling me he's done. So,
That's
Yeah.
right, the other two are in training, so.
Right, I know.
So
You know,
because they're young.
a good lab guy's gonna have two labs. One bringing up behind the other, always. You know, you got to. Without that, you can go dead in the water, you know. So I won't let myself allow that to happen. You know, I don't want to have to say, well, see, here it is, September 15th, Zeke has to retire. You know, no, I won't allow that to happen. I'll have something in the bag. I mean, you look what happened with Victor from Michigan. You know, anybody know that black lab? End of the season, very end of the season, he blew his knee out. Had the same injury as Zeke had, Zeke 2 at 12. And they had to have the TPLO, is what they call that surgery. And oh my God, that takes 9 months to recover for a dog to get him solid again. 9 months. And he says, oh, I'm going to have him back by the Massachusetts, Maryland game. It's like, I took him and I went to Traverse City and I run into him. I actually invited him along with me when I did the Traverse City Pit Spitters.
Oh, the cherry pit.
baseball team.
Oh, gee.
And we did a game, you know, and I did Zeke and I brought my team up there. We did different innings and I brought her on the field and I showed him what I was doing. And I offered to help him, you know. In fact, I told him, I said, if you want, we can train one up and get ready for spring, fall from Michigan. And he's like, oh, no, I'll get this dog ready. Well, I got news for you. Michigan. They're starting something there with that black lab. And he was like the first to do it. Yeah. I did Big House. Breslin. No, what are they called? The Chrysler. I did 3 basketball games in 1990 and 89 at the Chrysler with Dexter when I was training for basketball games. So he was all happy he was there in the first dog from Michigan, but actually it was me. No, I don't. But when they found out I got the Michigan State gig, they wouldn't call me back. Oh man, I don't know. I wasn't really heartbroken. No. But we did the Big Ten championship games. You know, when they were playing the Big Ten conference in Indianapolis. I went in there. And here Michigan walks in. Oh, you got our dog here. The lab thing. I didn't say anything, and we went out. We went out in Michigan State colors, and then we beat them too. All right, I like that. Hey, I can be happy about some things in sports, you know. You know, being a good one bastard is just a fantastic opportunity, and I'm super grateful.
Well, thank you so much for being here today.
It has been truly an honor.
Thank you.
Yeah. So much. And the kids send their thanks as well, I'm absolutely sure. It's a highlight for them.
It wasn't that great. It was open. It was fun.
Oh,
Great.
Yeah. I should have had you throw, but I just got one to throw. You were way back.
I would have had your back.
We'll have to come back for now.
It's in lieu of our field trips this year, since we didn't get this year.
Hey, I'll let you throw for him. Okay, I'll let you throw.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Y'all have a great day.
Thanks.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good summer.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Doing dog.
Our final town and gown presentation will be, or final presentation of the season, sorry, will be on May 6th, titled Arts MSU, Putting Creativity at the Heart of All We Do, with Judith Stoddard, PhD, MSU Vice Provost for University Arts and Collections. Please save the date. Thank you.
Thank you.